answer me that, he wrote, and I'll even reveal to you the purpose of the moon. I'm drunk and alone, trying to call you on a public phone. I wanted passion, I wanted desire. My heart is a flame that pains me if I do not light it on fire. 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 Hotel, never just look for higher. Heart is a flame that pains me if I do not light it on fire. 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 How can I tell you just how it feels? How do you know if what's staying is real? I was the one with a skip in my wall. You say the truth hurts, yeah, well, so does a lot. Heart is a flame that pains me if I do not light it on fire. 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 Give a hand to the band, y'all. Thanks for playing, fellas. Right. I'm going to finish up with, that was fun. I'm going to finish up with two songs I'm going to ask y'all to sing along with, and I haven't asked y'all to sing along all night, so I think that's real decent of me. Now, one, for those of you who have parents in the house, if your children don't understand Irish slang, there's nothing wrong with this next song. So if anybody's got any really hip Irish kids, let me know right now. Other than that, I could tell you that this time last year, I was playing in Galway, Ireland. And the owner of the venue was enjoying himself so much, he called his brothers and sisters at home and he said, you have to come see this Yank from New Orleans. I didn't even know how to tell him how wrong that sentence was. I just let it lay there, you know. They came down there having a big time and I called out to him, I said, Gary, is there anything you want to hear? And he said, yeah, can you play the one, Mary hold the candle while I shave the chicken's legs? Because Irish guys love to be jokesters. And there's two things wrong with this request. One is, there is no such song by that name. And the other is, I'm pretty deaf from playing rock and roll for 30 years. And what I thought he said was, Mary hold the candle while I shave the stripper's legs. And since there was no song by that name, I made one up on the spot on the stage in Galway. And they all sang along, the whole bar sang along. And the next night I tried it in Belfast. And they all sang along there too. So I put it on my new record, and I've been playing it all across the country, and folks have been singing along. And I like to think it's because it's a catchy melody, but it's also because the lyrics are easy there. Mary hold the candle while I shave the stripper's legs. If y'all can remember that, we're golden. And it's a very simple little melody. You'll catch on. Mary hold the candle, Mary hold the candle, Mary hold the candle while I shave the stripper's legs. Mary hold the candle, Mary hold the candle, Mary hold the candle while I shave the stripper's legs. Mary, hold it nearer so I can see clearer. Mary, hold the candle while I shave the stripper's legs. Mary, hold it high-o so I can see thigh-o. Mary, hold the candle while I shave the stripper's legs. Mary, hold the candle. Mary, hold the candle. Mary, hold the candle while I shave the stripper's legs. Mary, hold the candle. Mary, hold the candle. Mary, hold the candle while I shave the stripper's legs. I must pay attention to parts some will not mention. Mary, hold the candle while I shave the stripper's legs. Mary, it's not funny, it's how I make me money. Mary, hold the candle while I shave the stripper's legs. Mary, hold the candle. Mary, hold the candle. Mary, hold the candle while I shave the stripper's legs. Mary, hold the candle. Mary, hold the candle. Mary, hold the candle while I shave the stripper's legs. Mary, hold that wee wick while I shave around the bamf stick. Mary, hold the candle while I shave the stripper's legs. Mary, here's the kicker. I'm your favorite stripper. I'm done with my shaving, now I'll get up on that stage. Mary, hold the candle. Mary, hold the candle. Mary, hold the candle while I shave the stripper's legs. Mary, hold the candle. Mary, hold the candle. Mary, hold the candle while I shave the stripper's legs. Come on now. Mary, hold the candle. Mary, hold the candle. Mary, hold the candle while I shave the stripper's legs. Mary, hold the candle. Mary, hold the candle. Mary, hold the candle while I shave the stripper's legs. Y'all sing real fine.
Hey, Paul, Marie Laveau.
I got one more for y'all, and thanks a lot for giving me your attention and your time. Thanks, Laura and Wes, for taking 2 days to set this thing up. They did some work. This last song is written with my friend John Boutte. Any of y'all watch the HBO series Treme? John Boutte sang the theme song, and he played himself, and he's one of the greatest singers ever, and he's got a voice like Sam Cooke. He looks like Harry Belafonte, and he's about 5 foot tall. When he tours in Italy, they call him Belafontini. He's adorable. And we got to be friends about 20 years ago now. And we found out we were born a day apart and a year apart. And we had a lot of similarities and a lot of differences in our lives. We were both raised Catholics, and we both had failed as Catholic in dramatic fashion. We both were raised by a bunch of sisters. We had a lot in common. We also had differences, like John's black and I'm not. And in New Orleans in the 60s, when we were little boys, we could not have ridden on the same part of a city bus together because of segregation in the South. So we were comparing the differences and the similarities growing up black and white in New Orleans in the 60s. And we were walking by those above-ground cemeteries at the end of Canal Street. Y'all might have heard about or seen in movies. And he pointed to one, and he said, "You know what, baby, my father's buried there." I said, "Man, that's one more thing we got in common. My daddy's buried across the street." He smiled at me, he said, "You know what, baby, black or white, we all gonna meet at the foot of Canal Street." And I said, "Well, that's a natural fact. Let's write that song." So I wanted it to be like something that could be played at somebody's second line funeral. Now, if y'all don't know what a second line funeral actually is, you might have just heard it referenced. What it is, when somebody dies in the African American community, the family hires a brass band, horns and drums, to play the body out of the church with a dirge, like Just a Closer Walk or Eye on the Sparrow. But when they hit the street on the way to the repast, the drummer kicks into high gear. He goes, "Thump, thump, 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 thump." And everybody starts dancing. Now, the first line is the family, because they paid for the band. They get to dance between the casket and the band. Everybody else has to dance behind the casket. That's the second line. That's anybody who was in church, but more importantly, anybody in the neighborhood who hears that beautiful noise and wants to come out and dance you over to the glory land. It's not a sad funeral. They honestly believe in their hearts you're already at the right hand of Jesus, and we're left down here to try and figure stuff out. So I wanted to be like that. And I said to him, "What's it like to play your horn at a second line funeral?" Because I didn't grow up in the Treme. I didn't have second lines in my neighborhood. It looked so beautiful and so holy and so spiritual on the outside looking in. And he smiled at me real sly-like, a smile I've come to fear in the last 20 years. He said, well, baby, it's beautiful and all, but most of the bitches wonder what the other bitches are going to be wearing. He said, and most of the men are carrying a flask in their hip pocket, waiting for the band to kick it so they can kick it too. I said, well, that's great. Let's put all that in a song. And I asked him what would be the most special thing could happen at a jazz guy's funeral. He said, baby, we all call Louis Armstrong Pops, and if Pops was still alive and he could blow Walk On at your funeral, you'd think he was already in heaven. So we put all that in a song, and when the HBO series Treme came to town, season 1, episode 4, they named it Foot of Canal Street. And they asked what the song was about, and I wrote him the story I just told y'all, and the producer, Eric Overmeyer, wrote back, said he'd cry when he read the story, and he passed it to the crew, and everybody agreed John and I had to be in the episode, singing it with a brass band. They even let John improv the line, Paul and I wrote this for our fathers. So I tell you this story because I'm about to ask y'all to sing along. Don't get scared.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you 3 great reasons to sing along. The first reason is I just asked politely. Did I not? And that's a fine reason. The second reason is, as I mentioned earlier, life is a participatory event. I'm going to give you, for example, let's say Vance were to bring Joanne down from Mardi Gras, her first Mardi Gras ever. And I had costumes laid out for him, and we're going to drink mimosas at 7 in the morning, and we're going to go do Mardi Gras. And she calls her friends back here in L.A., and she says, it was wonderful. Paul had costumes for us, but I didn't do the costume. I had the mimosa, and we went out, but everybody looked like they were having such fun. It just, Mardi Gras looks like it's amazing. Or she puts on the costume at 6:30 in the morning, has the mimosa at 7, and by the end of the day, she calls her friends back in L.A., and she says, I am Mardi Gras. More fun to take part. But the final reason is the story I told y'all about why we wrote it. We wrote it for the people that came before. There's somebody in your life that helped you be the person that's been so beautifully attentive tonight to me, and they can't be with you anymore to sing. But if you'll sing along from your heart, I promise you they're going to hear you, because that's where they're going to be alive for the rest of your life, right there in your heart. The words are real simple. They're at the foot of Canal Street. Watch. There's a couple of people here that know it. You'll help me out, and then we'll start the song. I'll see you there at the foot of Canal Street. What will you wear at the foot of Canal Street? What will the band be playing at the foot of Canal Street? What will the people be saying at the foot of Canal Street? You got it. So we're going to walk out of the church, like they say in walk time is what it's called in New Orleans. It's 3 steps and a pause. It goes. That's how they walk the body out. 3 steps and a pause. Don't waste your time being angry when the moment's much better with a smile. And if you feel your time's been wasted, well, I'm glad you wasted it here with me for a while. And I was standing at the bus stop. I was just across from Krause, and I was waiting for the driver to take me to my heavenly house. And I'll see you there at the foot of Canal Street. What will you wear at the foot of Canal Street? What will the band be playing at the foot of Canal Street? What will the people be saying at the foot of Canal Street? Does your father lie there? Does your mother pray? I want to put on my golden crown at the foot of Canal Street. And when the levee banks have overflowed and the streetcar has seen its day, when all is gone, the plantations, hallelujah, the Treme and the Vucare, you know I'll be swinging to that music. I'll be up on higher ground where Pops is blowing Walk On, up with Gabriel making sacred sound. And I'll see you there at the foot of Canal Street. What will you wear at the foot of Canal Street? What will the band be playing at the foot of Canal Street? What will the people be saying at the foot of Canal Street? Your father lie there? Does your mother pray? Yeah. I want to put on my golden crown at the foot of Canal Street. Y'all sound fine, do it without me. I'll see you there
At the foot of Canal Street.
What will you wear
At the foot of Canal Street.
What will the band be playing
At
I wanna put on my golden crown at the foot of Canal. One last time, everybody. I'll see you there at the foot of Canal Street. What will you wear at the foot of Canal? What will the band be playing at the foot of Canal? What will the people be saying at the foot of Canal? Does your father, does your father, does your brother, does your mother lie there? I want to put on my golden crown. I want to lay my burden down. I'll be moving up to higher ground at the foot of Canal Street, at the foot of Canal Street. Thank you all very much.